Yo, this is Real Talk E. Welcome to the locker room where we talk nothing but basketball. If you want to be part of the locker room, you obviously have to be part of the team. In order for you to be part of the team, you have to be subscribed. So subscribe and share the video to not only be part of the locker room and the team, but also be a part of our daily basketball conversations so that you don't miss nights of basketball like this. Now, yesterday in the league, there were like 7, 8 games going on, but to be honest with you, they were not that great. There were 2 games that I really cared about. Obviously, we saw the Kings win. That was not one of the games that I cared about. Um, but we are here to talk about the Warriors Grizzlies game and the Celtics Jazz game. Now I'm gonna start off with the Celtics Jazz. Even though it was the last game of the night, it was like the least entertaining game for me, like in my opinion. First off, to start off the first quarter, the Celtics take 7 threes. Now they take 42 threes a game. In the first quarter, they took 13, made 7. That is a lot of threes. To take 13, make 7, good shooting percentage, but it's a lot of threes. And when you live and die by the three like that, you lose a lot, especially in the playoffs. How many teams have we seen like this? How many teams have we seen come in to the playoffs and lose like this? The Rockets. We saw the Celtics of last year. We saw so many players and teams that take a lot of threes, that shoot a very high volume of threes, come to the playoffs and it's not the same. They're losing. It's not converting the same way. Now they're starting to miss shots. And the Celtics are doing that now at the end of the regular season. They'll come out in the first half, make their threes. In the second half, they start to miss their threes. But you know what it is? They'll never drive to the basket ever. They'll never get to the paint. And then we get to the second quarter. Mind you, at this point, the Celtics have a lead. And it's pretty much Celtics all the way. Jason Tatum did not have a great game. He ends the game with like, I believe, 13 points, 14. Jaylen Brown had like 25. I mean, overall, it was like a Celtics all-around game. Obviously, they were missing a couple of players like Marcus Smart, like Al Horford. But in my opinion, they should have still been able to pull this off. We start off the second quarter, and this was all Jazz. Nothing but Jazz. Jazz started to make their shots. They were starting to play good defense. They got up on the boards. They moved the ball around. Their main guys were, taking and making shots from beyond the arc. And then we get to the third quarter. The Jazz take a 5-point lead. I believe the beginning of the third quarter or at the end of the second. And after that, it was all Jazz. Like, everything Jazz. It was scoring. They were everywhere. And then out of nowhere, the Celtics finally decide they want to get to the paint. They finally decide that's a good idea. I guess they had like an epiphany and they just realized that getting to the paint can help you. That chucking up threes is not always the best option. Jaylen Brown gets to the paint a couple of times. Guess what? Celtics are right back in it. Now, I think they even took the lead again at the end of the third quarter. Now they're right back in it. They had the lead, they lost it, and now they have it again. You know why? Because they got to the paint. They're scoring at the basket. Like, just because you take 53s a game does not mean you can't get to the basket. And just because you take 53s a game does not mean you're good at it. It does not mean you're going to win. It does not mean it's the best shot available. A 3 is not always the best shot available. Sometimes you got to get to the basket. And the Celtics need to learn to understand that. And then we finally get to the fourth quarter, and now it's a back and forth. Like, any team could win it. It's a real back and forth. A lot of shots are going in. A lot of defense is being played. Jason Tatum had one of the worst games I've seen Jason Tatum have. I believe I said 13 points in the beginning of the video. I think it was like 15. So between 13 to 15, 16 points. That's how much he had this game. Now, this is a player that's on the pace to averaging 30 or more points for the Celtics in Celtics history. You know how many Celtics players have played on the Celtics? Rajon Rondo. I could go down a whole list. Bill Russell gave them like most of their championships. Like so many players have played for the Celtics team that are all-time legends, that are like some of the greats. And Jason Tatum is about to do something that they have not done before. And you know what he comes out last night and does? 15 points. Now, mind you, the Jazz had a very good way of defense. They blitzed him in the beginning of the game, early in the shot clock, and at the end of the game, late in the shot clock. Now, that worked out because they were like, we just dare anybody else to beat us. Jaylen Brown, go ahead, go beat us, go try to beat us. And it did not work. Jaylen Brown could not beat them. So this tactic can come back and help any team beat the Celtics in the playoffs or even in the next couple of games. Because once a team sees a certain type of defense that works, now every team is going to start using it or have its own variation of it. And the Celtics coming out last night and losing this game, I mean, let's get into the last couple of shots. We had the Celtics make a shot. Boom, come down. The Jazz make a shot. Cool. Go down. Jason Tatum misses a shot. Why are you even giving him the ball at the end of the game when he's had one of his worst games of the season? I get it. Jason Tatum, you know, your worst nights are going to happen, but good players deliver on, nights like this when it matters the most. But we've seen it time and time again. If Jason Tatum don't got it going, he's not going to deliver. You got to give it to somebody who is really, got it going, like Jaylen Brown. I wouldn't mind if Jaylen Brown took a game-winning shot if Jason Tatum is having a bad game. What's the problem? If Jaylen Brown got it going, why not? And then they come back down, and the Jazz turn over the ball. I was like, damn. The Celtics got a chance. They could win this game. It's not even supposed to be this close, but they could win this game. And you know what happens? The rookie, I think his name is Walker Kessler, blocks Grant Williams on the game-winning shot. And that was it. Grant Williams had like 23 points last night, or 24. He went 7 for 11 from 3. That's really good. But they lost. Celtics need something. They need, get to the paint, obviously. They need to square at the basket, obviously. They need to move the ball around more than what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, obviously. They need to be healthy. They need Robert Williams, Marcus Smart, Al Horford, everybody else back. I don't know if they sat them out on purpose last night, but they need them back. And then let's get into everybody's favorite game of the night, even though it was not as close as this. The two teams that everybody's been watching all year, the two teams that everybody's been watching since last season in the playoffs, the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Now, I am sick and tired of these two teams talking about each other. We had Dylan Brooks come out and he basically said, "Oh, I can't wait for this Warriors game, and I can't wait to fight over the illegal screens they always set." Which I'm not gonna lie, is kind of funny, but it's just like, why? Why even do that? Just go out there and play. Because if I'm being honest with y'all, the Warriors want to be around 7-8. They want the Grizzlies, the Kings, and the Nuggets. One of those three. They don't want to really go up against the Suns or the Clippers. Not because they cannot beat the Suns or the Clippers, but it would drain them. Like, they will need a lot of energy to get out of those two series if it's against the Suns or the Clippers. Even if they sweep the Suns or the Clippers, they will still have to exert a lot of energy to get out. Like, it could be 4-0. But because of the way these two teams play, it matches up with the Warriors really, really well. Now, if they go up against the Nuggets, They have not played the Nuggets at full strength like how the Nuggets are right now. Like the Nuggets with Jokic, Jamal Murray, MPJ, Aaron Gordon. The Warriors have not played that. They played the Nuggets with just Jokic and a bunch of role players, and they won. So they probably don't take the Nuggets that serious, and they want the Kings because Kings don't play defense. They want the Grizzlies because they don't believe that the Grizzlies really got it, and they've beat them before. But the Suns, Mavericks, Clippers, those three teams, even if the Warriors sweep them, it's going to be taking out a lot of energy from the Warriors. But let's go and talk about the game. First quarter, a whole bunch of threes are being made. Both teams just chucking up threes, making them. It was like I believe it was like 12 threes in the first like 6-7 minutes of the first quarter from both teams. We get to the second quarter, same thing. We get to the third quarter, Jordan Poole got it going. He finally turns it up off the bench, puts the Warriors right back in it. It's a 4-point game. 0.8 seconds left in the third quarter. Desmond Bane misses a shot. Cool. We go into the fourth quarter. Desmond Bane got to go in this game. And this is what the Grizzlies needed. They needed somebody to score now that John Moran is out. And Dillon Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr. were in foul trouble. Like I said, this is going to hurt the Grizzlies in the playoffs. Right now in the regular season, it's not hurting them. In the playoffs, it's going to hurt them. The way Jordan Poole came on the third quarter and decided to score and decided to, just play hard. In the playoffs, teams are doing that the entire game. So if two of your main guys are out due to foul trouble, GG's. You're going to lose that game. And they started off the first quarter, Desmond Bane going crazy. Second quarter, Desmond Bane still going crazy. Third quarter, fourth quarter, he just basically carried this team on his back. And the announcers only talk about like Dillon Brooks. Oh my God, his defense. Oh my God, his offense. He's not really good at neither one of those things. He's decent. He's not good at neither one. Jaren Jackson Jr. disappeared. Steph Curry had one of his worst games of the season. He had 13 points. Klay Thompson, 14 points. Another bad game. The Warriors starters last night did not deliver. They had some of their worst games that we've seen. The worst game from the starters last night. The bench came through. Jonathan Kuminga and Jordan Poole combined for like 45 points off the bench. The Warriors had a chance. The starters did not deliver, especially to close out the game. But anyways, y'all, it's enough of me rambling, chat. It's time for y'all. Let me know what y'all think down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. This is Real Talk with E, and it's time to leave the locker room. I'm going to catch y'all. Safety.